Good morning, Jai Shri Krishna. Let's start the session. Close the eyes, relax the shoulders, hands in Dhyan Mudra, back straight. We will chant three long Omkars followed by the opening prayer. Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Keep the eyes closed, join the hands at back of the body, bow down to the Supreme Earth. Inhale, come back up. Rub the palms against each other. Generate Urja. Then place the warm hands over the eyes and face. Open and close eyes few times under the palms. Slowly slide the hands down. Gently open the eyes and we will start the session. Let's continue with extending the hand away from the body. Try to keep the elbows straight. So the arms will be completely still from shoulder to the wrist joint. Alternate so we can maximize the usage of the wrist joint. Few times, then make tight fist, and when we release the fist, try to spread the fingers far apart. Try to keep the palms still at 90 degree. Now bend at all the knuckle joints and feel some like good little minor stretches into the lower arm. All the knuckle joints. We are not making a fist. It's like scorpion. Then make a fist. Try to keep thumbs inside and roll the fist forward. If we keep our elbows straight, that time while rolling the fist forward and backward, we can feel some stretches all the way up to the shoulders in the whole arms. And reverse direction. Then swing the folded hands. When we raise the elbows up, inhale. Exhale when we bring the hands down. Deep breathe in, deep breathe out. Few times sideways. Trying to utilize as many as body parts, joints, muscles to warm them up before we do all the yoga poses. Now hold all the fingers together over the shoulders and make biggest circle possible. Inhale up, exhale down. Elbows touch once every rotation. And reverse. And relax. Now spread the hands sideways, turn the palms 90-degree up, then make a circle, keeping the shoulders in the center, palms will go around. Small circles and not too fast. And few reverse. And relax. Now inhale, raise both hands up. Exhale, put the one palm aligned with the spine at the back, look back, align the chin with the shoulder, keep pressing the other knee forward. Inhale, come back. Exhale onto the other side. With closed eyes, you can feel the stretches at the lower back. In any of the activities, whenever you don't need to look at the screen, come back, inhale. Let's do 2 more times, both the sides, alternatively. So whenever we don't need to look at the screen, you can close the eyes and you can go inward into the body and try to feel the senses like the relaxation or any kind of sensation. And complete the last round. Interlock the fingers, place the palms over the forehead. Breathe in, hold the breath in lower abdomen as we press the forehead and palms against each other. Release the breath, release the palm. Same thing from back of the head. While doing it, try to push the elbows backward. One more time. And from the side of the head, couple of times, alternatively on both sides. Look straight at the level of the eyes, trunk vertical. Inhale. As we exhale, without moving the shoulder blade, just turn the head towards right side. Align the chin with the right shoulder. Look far back. Hold breath out for 5 seconds. Inhale, come back. Exhale onto the other side. Full twist. Look at the farthest point on the back. Inhale, come back to center. Second round on both the sides. Inhale, look up. Look at the ceiling. Exhale, head down. Press the head as much as down possible. Chin at the chest. Second round, inhale up. Exhale down. Then we will make 3 circles. Inhale on right, keep on going up. From the up, start acceleration on to the left side and head down. Second round, inhale while turning the head up, exhale while bringing it down. Steady and gentle circles. Complete the third one. Then change the direction. Now inhale on left and exhale on right. We can look at the farthest point at each of the point when we are turning our head. And complete the 3 rounds. And trunk, neck, and head in vertical line. We can just put the hand on top of the head just to put a little bit weight. Inhale in the center as we exhale. Tilt the head down onto the one shoulder. Inhale up back to center. Exhale onto the other side. We are not really pressing the head so much down. We don't want to hurt ourselves. We just want to put a little bit weight. Second round. Then sit in L shape, palms beside the hip joints, legs are fully grounded. Pull the toes towards the body and feel some stretches into the calf muscles. Now squeeze and release all the toes. Now as we inhale, push all toes together forward. Exhale, pull them back. Inhale forward 2 times. Both feet together. Forward and backward. Then alternate. Try to utilize the ankle joint fully. Now holding the heels together, toes together, circle the toes around the heels. Try to make the biggest circle possible. And we should not be leaning back, we should be upright, vertical. In the reverse direction. Now fold at the right knee and hold the right leg with both the hands, both the arms actually. We will do Shishupalanasan as we inhale. Pull the folded leg all the way onto the right side. Exhale, push it towards the left. Second time, deeply inhale all the way at the right. Exhale, back to the left. And third time, and back to the left. Then slowly place the right foot onto the left thigh. Interlock the right toes with the left fingers. Use the right palm to keep on pressing the right knee down a few times. Create the spring action. The left leg remains straight. Left toes pointing towards the wall in front. And we can use just the palm to bring the right knee to the chin. Inhale, press it down to the floor. Hold it for 2-3 seconds, or we can just press it down a few times. Then exhale, bring the knee to the chin. Do a couple more times. And straighten the right leg, relax it. And hold at the left knee. Shishupalanasana on the left side. Inhale, push the left folded leg all the way to the left. Exhale, push it toward the right. Inhale onto the left, second time. Exhale back toward the right. And last time. Now gently place the left foot onto the right thigh. Interlock the left toes with the right fingers and keep on pressing the left knee down to the floor. Few times, creating the flexibility into the hip joints. Now bring the knee to the chin. Inhale, press it down to the floor. Exhale, bring it to the chin. Couple more times. Right leg remains straight, right toes pointing towards wall in front. Now straighten the left leg. Relax both the legs. And fold at both the knees. We are continuing on the working on the hip joint and the pelvis region. Interlock the fingers, place the fingers over the toes and thumbs directly under the big toes. Inhale, raise knees up. Exhale, bring it down to the floor. Inhale up. Exhale down and speed up. Start flapping just like the butterfly wings. So I'm trying to give the full instructions, so you probably don't need to look at the screen. You can continue with the closed eyes. And each time you can visualize your body also, just like you are looking yourself in the screen. We can raise the knees even up higher to create the momentum. So we can see if we can hit the floor. Now stop the flapping, roll the body side by side, bring the knees all the way onto the floor. As we do that, keep on pressing the body closer to the heels. So heels will be closer to the perineum. Now back straight, keep pressing the knees down. You can close the eyes, deep breathe in, hold the breath into the lower abdomen for about 7 seconds. During the whole time, make sure we are keep pressing the knees down and back straight. We can witness extra stretches into the pelvis region, hip joint. Breathe out. We can breathe in again deeply, hold, and do the same thing. Let's do 2 to 3 more times. Do with your own pace. This is Bhadrasana or Bhadrasana. Now, once you complete, then roll the body side by side and try to push the body away from the heels. Don't go too far away. Then hold the toes tightly with the fingers. Look up, head and trunk align. Deeply inhale. We are doing Baddha Konasana. As we exhale, lower the trunk and head all the way down. See if we can bring forehead onto the toes. Inhale, come back up. Try to pull the trunk away from the hips. Hold it up. Deeply inhale. As we deeply exhale, just bend down we can push the shin bone or the lower leg back with the elbows so we can bring our trunk even further forward and down. So this time we may be able to touch our chin onto the toes. Inhale, come back up and sit in a cross leg. We can bring the lower leg on top of each other. We should just push the heels a little bit away from the body so both lower leg will be completely aligned. Inhale, raise both hands up. Just a second. Biceps at the ear. As we exhale, just bend forward and down. Bring both hands on the floor and try to put the whole upper body weight onto the legs. Now relax the lower back and hip joints. And you should feel the extra stretches into the hip joints on the side, whichever leg is up right now. As we inhale, walk the hands towards the legs and switch the legs. Inhale, raise both hands up. Exhale, lower the tongue, hands on the floor, and pull upper body weight onto the legs. Now relax the lower back and the hip joints. As we inhale, walk the hands towards the body and sit in any of the comfortable cross-leg posture. Padmasana, Sukhasana, Siddhasana, Swastikasana. Or if you are able to do full Padmasana, you can stay in half Padmasana. We will do Parvatasana. Bring both hands on a side, back straight, with full awareness. As we breathe in, bring both hands together in front of the chest in pranam. Exhale. Inhale again. Raise both the palms, rest them on top of the head. Exhale here. Now deeply inhale as we extend the hands all the way up over the head. Both palms align. The arms and upper body stretch upward. We can inhale, exhale in a pose, but whenever we start lowering the hands down, we should start exhalation. Continue exhalation while we rest the hands on head, at the chest, and all the way down onto the floor. Let's do 2 more times. Parvatasana. Do with the breath coordination with full awareness. You can close the eyes. Visualize yourself, your own body. There will be 3 breathe in and breathe out while getting into the pose, and only 1 exhale, the long exhale, to come back to the initial pose. And while we are in a pose, we should try to stretch our trunk even further up and hands also up as high as possible. Okay, looks like everyone done. and bring the hands in Dhyan Mudra, first fingertip and thumb tip together. We will do Bhastrika Pranayam, relax the shoulders, try to keep the back straight with closed eyes. Just try to feel the body movements as we deeply inhale. We don't need to force and we don't need to hold the breath. Slowly and fully breathe in and fully breathe out. So whenever we breathe in, our navel will come out. As we breathe out, stomach will go in. Also the movements on the shoulders and chest. For a couple more breaths, just observe them. And make sure we are not reverse breathing. Reverse breathing means our stomach will go out and in opposite way. So make sure we are breathing at that time. Stomach will go out. When we breathe out, stomach will go in. After that, keep focusing only on the breathing. Try to follow the breath. As we breathe in, first it enters into the nostril, first point, then goes into the nose, throat, and into the lungs, upper lobe, middle lobe, lower lobe. There are 3 lobes of the lungs. Try to follow, try to sense how the air is passing through. As we breathe out, just feel that how we emptying our lobes of the lungs, and also the air is coming back into the lungs, into the throat, nose, nostril point, and exiting. Also it gives some cold sensation when we breathe in. When we exhale, we feel minor hot air. Don't forget deep breathe in and deep breathe out. Okay, breathe in and out normal. Open the eyes. Next we will do Kapalbhati Pranayam. Bring the hands in Vayu Mudra on both hands. Roll first fingertip into root of thumb. Deeply inhale once. Try to fill out all the 3 lobes of the lungs. Then in installments, we're going to breathe out. Little bit at a time with forcefully. And once we have no longer breath left in a lung, we're going to breathe in again. So keep on doing. The frequency you can keep as per your comfort level. Conclude when you breathe out fully. And then next we will do variation of Bhastrika Pranayam. Make a tight fist at the shoulders. As we deeply inhale forcefully, extend hands up, open up the fist, make a fist again, exhale, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down. If you have a heart problem, blood pressure issue, do it slowly or you can avoid it. Relax, breathe normal. Open up the palms toward the ceiling. For 10 seconds, get into Sambhavi Mudra. Body completely still. Awareness in between the eyebrows. Feel the vibrations, let them calm down. Let the energy absorb into the body. Okay, and come back. Next we will make a Linga Mudra. Extend the right hand forward and interlock with the left hand fingers such a way that the right thumb will stay up and surrounded by left thumb and left first finger. And we can hold the pose at the level of the shoulders. We can fold the elbows a little bit to bring it closer. Back straight, we can close the eyes. Inhale, exhale normal, but try to keep awareness at the Nabhi Chakra, the navel. And relax the hands. Then we will spread the feet away from each other, extend them, knees straight, legs are fully grounded. Inhale, raise both hands up. We will do Upavishta Konasana. As we exhale, bend down, try to grab the big toes or feet and push the trunk and head down together. Inhale up. Second time, longer duration. As we do fully exhale, grab the feet. We can do inhale, exhale, but each exhalation, we are keep pushing the trunk and head further down and down. See if we can bring forehead onto the floor, if possible. Inhale, come back up. Now fold at both the knees. We are doing turtle pose. Pass the hands under the knees and spread the hands onto the floor away and try to push the trunk and head all the way down, and as much as possible try to straighten the legs. In Sanskrit it's called Kurmasana. Okay, inhale, come out of the pose. Now try to keep the feet far apart. Inhale, raise both hands up. Turn the shoulder blade towards the right. As we fully exhale, bend down. try to bring the forehead onto the right knee with both hands equally. Grab the right foot. Inhale, come up onto the other side. Fully exhale. Grab the left foot equally with both the hands and try to bring forehead onto the left knee. Inhale, come back up. Now fold at the right knee. Bring the right heel at the perineum. Next we will do Janu Sirsasana. Again, turn the shoulder blade perpendicular to the left leg. Raise both hands up. We will do a little bit longer duration. Fully exhale as we bring the forehead onto the left knee. 10, 9, 8, 2, 1. That was almost 20 seconds. And switch the side. Try to keep the back straight. Turn the shoulder blade perpendicular to the right leg. Inhale, both hands up. Fully exhale, bend down and forehead onto the knee. With each exhalation, try to keep on pushing the head and trunk down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 2, 1. Inhale, come back. Bring the feet closer, both hands, the palms at the back. We can lean a little bit backward and try to keep the knees straight but roll the toes in and out and feel the movements all the way up to the hip joints. Now bring feet closer, align them. Inhale, raise both hands up, look up. As we fully exhale, tuck the stomach in, apply the Uddiyana Bandha, grab the feet and try to bring forehead onto the knees. We can hold the breath out. This is Paschimottanasana. When we can no longer hold the breath, breathe in and come back up. Both hands up, look up into the ceiling. Second time. Fully exhale. Apply the Uddiyana Bandha. That means tuck the stomach in. Forehead onto the knees. Feel that the thighs are pressed against abdomen. Inhale, come back up. And we will do complementary pose. That is Purva Uttanasana, or also it called reverse plank in English. You can do modified version with the bent knees. Otherwise, you can do with the straight knees. That would be great. As we inhale, raise the lower back all the way up and drop the head at back of the body. Trunk, you can raise it as high as possible. So body will assume one straight line from back of the head to the heels. So toes on the floor, heels on the floor, elbows straight and knees straight for the full pose. For modified version, knees are bent. And once you stayed enough in a pose, then bring the body back into the L shape. And next, we are transitioning into the Gomukhasana. Align the knees on top of each other and as close as possible. If you have difficulty on bringing them together, maybe you can try to lift the body a little bit up and you can adjust. Then you can bring the body down. So heels will be straight closer to the hips. Whichever knee is up, that side hand will go from up above. Other hand we can push the elbows for the better chance to get them connected. Other hand will go directly behind, connect them together. Once we make good connection, then make sure our trunk is vertical, back straight, neck straight, and we are looking straight at the level of the eyes. Once we make sure that pose is correct, that point we can close the eyes and we can quickly scan the body and see what kind of stretches different body parts, different joints are having. Slowly come out of the pose, but before switching to the other side, let's do Ardha Matsyendrasana on the same side. So just bring whichever knee is up, raise it up all the way, and that foot will go outward of the other knee. Whichever knee is up, that side hand will go at the back, align with the spine. Inhale, other hand will go up. Either you can hug the knee, fully exhale and look back, or you can just bring the hand outward, or if you have extra flexibility, you can even push the knees further in and you can try to grab the ankle. Fully exhale, look back, align the chin with the shoulder at the back, and try to feel this is extra stretches, extra twist at the lower abdomen and back. Inhale, come back. So the Ardha Matsyendrasana is combination of Gomukhasana and Vakrasana. That's why we skip the Vakrasana today. Now let's transition on to the other side. First we will do Gomukhasana. Just get into the pose correctly. If you have difficulty connecting the hands at the back, you can use the cloth napkin, rope, or belt or yoga strap, anything initially. Once you stayed enough, then release the hands and switch into the Ardha Matsyendrasana. Try to keep full awareness on each of the little movements while sliding the foot at the knee and placing the other hand at the back. Stay within the body. Body, breath and mind. We are trying to connect them together. Fully exhale as we look back. Align the chin with the shoulder at the back. Feel the full twist, extra twist at the lower abdomen. And come back. So next we can sit in Vajrasana, sitting on our heels. This is the great pose. This is the only pose can be done anytime, even right after the meal. It's even more beneficial after any kind of meal. If we sit in this posture, it's just much more beneficial on digestion. Also, once we sit in this pose, our spine automatically erect, stays straight, vertical. Let's do Mandukasana, frog pose. Separate the knees few inches apart. Extend both hands forward, thumbs inside. Make a tight fist. Then deeply breathe in, hold the breath in lower abdomen. and then place top of the fist at the navel, between the rib cage and the navel. Now forcefully exhale, and without leaving the heels, push the trunk and head all the way down. When we can no longer push the trunk down, that point hold the trunk there and raise or tilt the head up. Inhale, come back up. Second round, same sequence, tight fist, deep inhale, hold the breath, place the fist, without leaving the heel, forcefully exhale, and bend down and tilt the head up. Come back. Next we will do complementary pose, going on a backward bending. So as we discussed yesterday, you could do Supta Vajrasan from the Vajrasan, or you can sit in Virasana, like separate the heels away, then you can sit directly on the floor and then you can go backward. Or if you have more flexibility, you can do Supta Vajrasan with help of palms and elbows. Let the whole upper body get onto the floor. Make sure the knees stays on the floor. Separate the shoulder blades apart and let the whole back flat on the floor and back of the head on the floor. You can raise the hands up. You can place the palms on the thighs. Relax the lower back. Relax the knees. So you can stay in this pose a half minute, 1 minute. If you are doing any poses during offline yourself, then you should practice all these poses. Whenever you need to come out of the pose, grab the ankles, push the elbows into the floor, and bring the body back into the Vajrasan or Virasana, whatever pose you started with. Now separate the knees apart, bring both hands on a side way, the back of the palms on the floor, back straight at the first, deeply inhale. As we exhale, try to buckle the back and try to bring the forehead in between the knees. Deep inhale, deep exhale, while placing top of the head onto the floor. Inhale, come back up and get on both the knees, but we will get again on the heels, but knees will stay up over the floor. See if we can maintain the balance. Just stay on the toes. In this pose, maybe we can do the pranam pose, or we can raise our hands up. Bring the hands back onto the floor. Extend the one leg out. Try to bring both the hands beside the extended leg. Deep inhale. As we exhale, try to walk the hands out and all the way up to the heel of the extended leg. The other leg remain bent and the knee stays over the floor, and forehead onto the straight knee. Feel the full stretch onto the hamstring of the straight leg. You can inhale, exhale in a pose, but each exhalation you can keep on pressing the head further down. As we inhale, walk the hands back and fold the knee. Sit on both the heels, and then extend the other leg out. Both hands beside the straight leg. Deep inhale. As we deep exhale, walk the hands out all the way to the heel of the straight leg and try to bring the forehead onto the straight knee. Stay in a pose, inhale, exhale. Each exhalation, keep on pressing the head further down. As we inhale, walk the hands back and sit on both the heels. Now we can align our soles, S-O-U-L, not S-O-U-L, S-O-L-E, sole of the feet. Align them together and continue sitting on the heels. Try to put the vertical load so we have better balance. You can bring the hands in Dhyan Mudra or Pranam, or we can raise the hands up as well. So this is Gorakshasana, the name after Guru Gorakhnath. And come back, get on the knees, half stand. We will do camel pose, full camel pose today. Separate the knees and feet, same as the shoulder width. In circular fashion, as we inhale, bring the hand up and exhale down onto the same side heel. Rest it. Inhale, raise the other hand up in circular fashion. Bring it down as we exhale. Rest it onto the other side on the corresponding heels. Drop the head at back of the body. Push the pelvis forward and hold these two forces as I do count down. 10, 9, keep on pushing the pelvis forward and dropping the head down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Very slowly, one hand at a time, come out of the pose. At the last, straighten the trunk. And then we can bring the palms on the floor, knees on the floor. Inhale, look up. Try to make the spine downward arch. Cat and cow pose, Marjariyasana. Fully exhale. Look at the navel. We can bend at the elbows a little bit to lower the shoulders to make the better upward arch. Inhale, look up again. Try to push the lower back up as well and try to make the better downward arch of the spine. So do few more breath in and out, 2 to 3 more times. Do with your own pace and make sure the arch is better. Okay, now let's get into the high plank. Toes on the floor, palms on the floor, elbows straight, knees straight. We can look in between the palms on the floor, on the mat. From here, we can transition into side plank. The one variation we did not do yesterday, we will try to do it today. Vasishthasana or side plank, look into the ceiling and raise the other leg up. And even if you are able to grab the big toe, grab it, then straighten the knee. And hold it as high as possible. And slowly come out of the pose. Again back to the high plank. Bring the knees on the floor and rest it for a few seconds. Then we will transition on to the other side. So first we will start with the high plank. Then move the palm directly or vertically under the face and transition into the side plank. Look into the ceiling through the palm. Then raise the leg up. And see if we can grab the big toe. And slowly come out of the pose and relax. We can sit in a Vajrasana or Virasana, whichever comfort position you like for a few seconds. So today at 10:30 we are going to have another musical show in the Parikgit Mala. So I sent the flyer. So if you're available, you can, and interested, you can join that. I'm thinking to have our own karaoke program that we didn't do since long time. Many people keep asking. I didn't get chance to set up. So let's do our own karaoke program maybe next week. If Friday night maybe okay, then we could do Friday night instead of weekend, because weekend we are busy. We have many people, we have always some programs. So let's do our own karaoke program too. Like cyber karaoke, we have that group, and most of you are in that group. And if not, then if interested, let me know. We can just put into the group. Yep. Anybody have any question? Just raise the hand on any confusion, any timings, yoga sessions, Surya Namaskar sessions, anything? Good, no questions. Or you can always send message. Yes, Chintan, kay question છે? Oh, okay. તું કેમેરા પાસે આવ્યો એટલે મેં કીધું okay. Stand up, ઉત્તિષ્ઠ તું. So let's do alternatively. Go on the toes, then go on the heels, then on the toes, on the heels. So inhale, extend the hands up. We can go on the toes. Exhale, and then go just on the heels. So we're going to lift the toes, then again lift the heels, then lift the toes. Little bit balancing issue, but you can keep the hands down, but try to go alternatively few more times. Raise the toes, all the toes up, so our weight will stay at the back edge of the heel. And last time, stay on the toes, Tadasana, for a few seconds. And down. Then we can walk on the heels for 2 circles around the mats, and then 2 circles on the toes. If we maintain the habit of drinking lukewarm water in the morning, first thing in the morning, and walking on the toes and heels right after the wake up, that will be much more beneficial. Separate the feet far apart. Bring both palms at the chest, trunk vertical, and it's gonna stay vertical even though we twist. Inhale. As we exhale, just extend the one hand out, going towards back. Keep on following that palm, so the palms and elbows remains at the shoulder level all the times. Hold the breath out, hold in a pose, look far back for a few seconds, at least I would say 5 seconds, then inhale, come back, exhale onto the other side, keep on following the other palm at the back, feel the full twist at the back. Inhale, come back. Let's do 2 more times on both sides with full breath coordination. About 5 seconds, then come back. Okay, and complete. And bring feet closer, probably a 1 to 2 foot apart. And we will do Tiryak Tadasana. Interlock the fingers, raise both hands up. Inhale. As we exhale, bend sideways. Keep looking up, so our body will stay in one plane. Try to push the hands down as much as possible. Now inhale up, exhale onto the other side. Full stretches onto the opposite side of the whole body. Second round. Complete onto the second side. Okay. Now we will do a little bit exercise on the knees. Bend at the knees closer to 90 degree. We can use our hands, place them on the thighs. Stay for a few seconds and come back up. Then going again down. And up. And we can separate the feet even a little further. And going down. Now we will just straightening the one knee and moving our body on the side way. Alternatively. So we are not going up and down. Our level of the head, the body will move in horizontal line. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Inhale in a star position, extend both hands out. As we exhale, just grab the toe with the opposite side hand, look up, the other hand up, pointing towards the corner of the ceiling. So both arms probably be 90 degree in between. Inhale, back to star. Exhale onto the other side. So twisted triangle. Come back from twisted triangle to revolving twisted. Exhale. Now the hand will go outward of the ankle and other hand will go all the way up vertical, looking through the thumb. Both knees straight, both elbows straight. Inhale up. Exhale onto the other side. Full twist. Second round of twisted revolving triangle. And onto the other side. And come back and move in front of the mat, and we will do Surya Namaskar as usual, like every morning. And if you are interested in much more, many Surya Namaskar, then you can join weekday morning sessions. Okay, share the audio and okay, we will do 4 Surya Namaskars. Roll the shoulders back and
मरीचये नमः। ॐ आदित्याय नमः। ॐ सवित्रे नमः। ॐ अर्काय नमः। ॐ भास्कराय नमः। ॐ मित्राय नमः। ॐ रवये नमः। ॐ सूर्याय नमः। ॐ भानवे नमः। ॐ खगाय नमः। ॐ पूष्णे नमः। ॐ हिरण्यगर्भाय नमः। ॐ मरीचये नमः। ॐ आदित्याय नमः। ॐ सवित्रे नमः। ॐ अर्काय नमः। ॐ भास्कराय नमः। ॐ मित्राय नमः। ॐ रवये नमः। ॐ सूर्याय नमः। ॐ भानवे नमः। ॐ खगाय नमः। ॐ पूष्णे नमः। ॐ हिरण्यगर्भाय नमः। ॐ मरीचये नमः। ॐ आदित्याय नमः। ॐ सवित्रे नमः। ॐ अर्काय नमः। ॐ भास्कराय नमः।
Let's sit in a squatting pose, Malasana. And come back up. And we can do Paschim Namaskar. Just align the palms together, finger pointing down, Then we can turn the fingers upward direction and push them all the way up. See if we can bring the palms up. We can interlock the thumbs, separate the feet far apart. Deeply inhale. As we deeply exhale, turn onto the sideways and bend down. Bring the forehead onto the knee. Try not to bend the knee. Inhale, come back up. Exhale onto the other side. Now release the hands. Interlock the fingers. Roll the shoulders back and down. Deeply inhale. As we deeply exhale, bend forward and down. Raise both palms up, away from the body. Let the head and trunk go down on the gravity. Don't try to resist. Let them be free fall. Inhale, come back up, bend backward. And come back. Now bring both the hands at the back, thumbs at the sacrum. Sacrum is the lowest point on the spine. Just try to massage that point with both the thumbs. We can circle them 10 times in one direction, then 10 times into the opposite. Sometimes it helps in back pain as well. And then holding the thumbs there, deeply inhale, deeply exhale. Make sure our feet are far apart, separated. Then we can bring both hands onto the floor, directly under the face, and start separating the palms away from each other and lowering the head. We can bring top of the head onto the floor, or as much as you can do that. Try to listen to the body first. And come back. Bring both hands onto the floor. Then again bring the hands at the back, thumbs at the sacrum, and lift the body up. And come back. Now relax the legs. And we will do some balancing pose. Let's do tree pose. Make sure the one foot completely flat on the floor. You can even spread the toes apart and have a good connection onto the mat or floor. The other foot, align it with the inner thigh of the other leg. Lock it. Then you can do either halfway, or you can raise the hands up. Slowly come down, transition onto the other side. Do it very slowly. Any of the balancing pose, if you do in a rush, you more likely you're going to come out very quickly. Okay. And the next, if you tried tree pose on both the sides well enough, And we can do Uttishta Hasta Padangushtasana. First grab the big toe using first two fingers on the same side hand. Extend the leg first forward. Straighten the knee. Then we can slide it onto the sideway. Raise it up. You can even raise the other side hand as well. And if you still have good balance, you can turn the head onto the opposite direction. If you still have good balance, you can bring the leg forward and then down. Great. Awesome. So many people. And very slowly transition into the other side. Okay, continuing on balancing. So let's do Virbhadrasana 3 and 4. Virbhadrasana 3, if you remember, the final pose is this. There are multiple ways you can get into this pose. You can start from keeping the hands at low first, and then you get into the pose. Or you can grab the thigh with both the hands and raise the other leg up. Then you can extend the hands forward. But try to keep the behind leg and the arms all parallel to the floor and looking straight up forward. So that's a Warrior 3 or Virbhadrasana 3. And after we tried enough on both sides, we stayed enough, then we will move into Virbhadrasana 4. Virbhadrasana 4 is also a very similar way as 3, but here we just grabbing the ankle on the same side hand with the same side hand and lowering the trunk, raising the hand up as we raise the folded leg up as high as possible, and try to keep the folded leg away from the body as high and as away as possible. If we tried enough, then we can transition onto the other side. But do it slowly. Great. So many people doing this poses very well. Okay, we'll do the last pose in the standing, and then we will just lay down on a stomach. So the last pose would be, let's do Parsva Konasana, but we will do twisted Parsva Konasana. So just turn the left toes out, 90-degree out, and bend at the left knee. As we inhale, both hands sideways. As we exhale, bring the right palm next to the left foot on the floor and raise the left hand up. The right knee will remain straight, left knee at 90 degree, looking up in a ceiling through the left palm. And try to push the trunk, the waist area down, closer to the floor. And come back. And onto the other side. Inhale. As we exhale, then twist and bring the left palm along with the right foot on the floor, the right knee at 90 degree, left knee straight, right hand up into the ceiling. Look through the right palm. And the pelvis area, waist area, push it down as much as possible. And come back. Now lay down on the stomach. And first 10 seconds we will take a rest in a Makarasana, crocodile pose. Next we will do Viparita Naukasana, or the Superman pose or the flying pose. Extend both hands forward, chest chin on the floor, both feet together, toes pointing out. With next inhalation, raise the hands, head, chest chin up, and pull the legs up away from the floor. Thighs few inches above the floor, knees straight, elbows straight. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And back to Makarasana. In a Makarasana we can alternate. Like one time we can keep the left side of the face on hands, or sometimes right side of the face. Full relax. Next, we'll bring both palms on the floor, elbows on the floor, and lift the upper body a little bit up. Look at the level of the eyes, both feet together. Hold at the knees and bring the heels at the hips. We can cross the legs. Inhale. As we exhale, turn the head towards one side and look at the feet. Inhale, come back to center. Turn the legs, switch the legs. Fully exhale and turn the head onto the other side and look at the feet. Inhale, come back to center. Switch the legs. Keep on pushing or pulling it towards the heels. Exhale and look back. The second time. Complete second time on the other side as well. And back to Makarasana for 10 seconds. Next we will do Ardha Shalabhasana. Bring feet together, both palms under the thighs. Lift the one leg up, keeping the knee straight, toes pointing out as high as possible. You can fold at the other knee and use the other foot to support the straight leg. Relax the lower back. And slowly bring both legs back on the floor and transition onto the other side. Once in a pose, make sure you are relaxing the lower back. And relax. Back to Makarasana for 10 seconds. Next we'll do Dhanurasana, bow pose. We're going to cross the hands at the back, bend at both the knees. So grab the right to left, left to right, the ankles. Pull the legs up as we raise the head, chest, chin up. Look up as high as possible. There will be some rocking movement as we breathe in and out. That is normal. But stay only on the pelvis and hip area on the floor. Very slowly come back down into Makarasana for 10 more seconds. Then let's turn around, lay down on the back. We'll do stick pose or stick asana. Extend both hands or the head on the floor. Push the toes out and push the fingers onto the opposite direction. Feel the body elongated a few inches along with the floor and hold the stretches, full stretch. And relax. Bring both hands side of the body. Now raise both the legs up 30 degree. Trunk is also 30 degree with the floor. Look toenails through the fingernails. Knees straight, elbow straight. This is boat pose, Naukasana. Slowly come back onto the floor and lay down in Shavasana. Fully relaxed pose, hands away from the body, fingers semi-closed, palms facing ceiling, breathe in and out normal. Legs 2 to 3 feet apart, toes pointing out. Not holding any body parts, any muscles. Every time we get into Shavasana, we just get into this fully relaxed pose. Now bring feet together. We'll be doing Pavan Muktasana and leg rotation combination. So fold at the right knee with both hands. Grab the right lower leg and bring it down. Bring the knee onto the chest. Deeply inhale. As we deeply exhale, raise the head up. Holding the breath out, we can bring the knee closer to the face and face closer to the knee. Hold it. Whenever we need to breathe in and holding the knee at the chest, but try to bring the back of the head onto the floor. With next inhalation, raise the left leg up, keeping the left knee straight, left toes pointing out. Bring it all the way up, then all the way down. One more time, inhale, all the way up, all the way down, and do one more round. And then we're going to rotate the left leg, keeping the left knee straight. 1, 2, and 3. 3 rounds only. And then reverse the direction. 3. Keep the knee straight and toes pointing out. 2 and 1. Then relax the left leg, straighten the right leg, and bend at the left knee. Grab the left lower leg with both hands, pull it towards the chest and face. Deep inhale. As we deep exhale, lift the head up. Try to bring face closer to the knee and knee closer to the face. Hold the breath out. Pavan Muktasan with one leg at a time. When we need to breathe in, at that point we can keep holding the knee there. Just bring the back of the head on the floor. And inhale, exhale, normal. With next inhalation, raise the right leg up. Vertical position, toes pointing toward the ceiling. Knee straight. Exhale, lower the right leg. 2 more times. Inhale up and exhale down. And then 3 rotations on the right leg. Keeping the knee straight, toes pointing out. 2 and 3. Then 3 rounds in reverse direction. 3, 2, and 1. Now relax the right leg, straighten the left leg. Lay down in Shavasana for 10 seconds. Don't hold any body parts, any muscles, any joints. With closed eyes, feel the relaxation. So next we will do Uttan Padasana. There's not any inversion, so anybody can do that. So others who are okay to do any inversions, they can do the bridge pose or wheel pose or halasana. In the bridge pose, we can grab the ankles. We can lift the trunk all the way up. Raise the lower back as high as possible. When over here, we can raise the one leg up. So it's your choice. You could do bridge pose, wheel pose. Wheel pose is chakrasana, or halasana. All those poses are inversions. Only the Uttan Padasana is not. Uttan Padasana is just bringing both legs up into vertical position, toes pointing toward the ceiling. You can hold the legs up for 10 to 20 seconds, then start lowering them down. And once everyone complete all these variations or the poses, then lay down in Matsyasana after 10 seconds of Shavasana. Once you rested enough in a Shavasana, then transition into Matsyasana. And while you are in a Matsyasana, I will set up the Yog Nidra audio. Matsyasana is laying down on the back. You could do with the cross leg or you can do with the straight leg. So lay down in a Shavasana pose, both legs together, lift the trunk up, and then holding the trunk up, we're just going to bring the top of the head onto the floor and the hands remain under the thighs. So stay in the Matsyasana pose for another 10 seconds. I needed to show because someone was just sitting and didn't realize that, because I was sitting too. I was sitting because I was setting up the Yoga Nidra audio. So conclude the Matsyasana pose. You can get ready for Yoga Nidra audio and turn the lights down. You can cover yourself up.
नमस्ते। मैं हूं आचार्य प्रतिष्ठा। वंदनीय गुरुदेव के आशीर्वाद से मोक्षा।
No, that was wrong file. Okay, starting in 5 seconds. So lay down in Shavasana, make any final movements, adjustments.
शरीर को पूरी तरह से फ्लोर पर सरेंडर कर दिया है। शरीर का पूरा वजन फ्लोर पर ट्रांसफर हो रहा है। और अभी मैं जो बॉडी पार्ट्स का नाम बोलूं, वहां अपनी अवेयरनेस लाना है और वो बॉडी पार्ट को रिलैक्स करते जाएंगे। रिलैक्स ऑल योर टोज वन बाय वन। रिलैक्स both your feet, sole, heels. Relax your calf muscles, your lower legs, knee joint. Now bring your awareness on your thighs. Relax your thighs. So now both your legs are completely relaxed. Now bring your awareness on your lower abdomen. नाभि से नीचे के सभी मसल्स रिलैक्स कर देंगे। और ध्यान लाएंगे नाभि के ऊपर, अपने बेली बटन पर ध्यान लाएंगे। अभी अवेयरनेस लाएंगे पेट पर। पेट के सभी मसल्स रिलैक्स कर देंगे। पेट के सभी ऑर्गन्स पर रिलैक्स कर देंगे। अवेयरनेस थोड़ी ऊपर की तरफ शिफ्ट करेंगे और चेस्ट के सभी मसल्स रिलैक्स कर देंगे। चेस्ट के सभी ऑर्गन्स भी रिलैक्स कर देंगे। लंग्स, हार्ट। दोनों हाथ रिलैक्स कर देंगे। दोनों हाथ की सभी फिंगर्स, दोनों पाम्स, हथेली, दोनों रिस्ट, दोनों लोअर आर्म्स, एल्बोज, अपर आर्म्स, दोनों शोल्डर्स रिलैक्स कर देंगे। और अभी चेस्ट के सेंटर में ध्यान लाएंगे। फील द वाइब्रेशंस इन योर बॉडी। और अभी ध्यान लाएंगे गले के ऊपर और गले के सभी मसल्स रिलैक्स कर देंगे। फिर फेस पर ध्यान लाएंगे और फेस के सभी मसल्स रिलैक्स करते जाएंगे। चिन रिलैक्स करेंगे, लिप्स, दोनों चीक्स रिलैक्स कर देंगे, नोज, दोनों ईयर्स, दोनों आईज, आईब्रोज, forehead and top of the head. Feel the vibrations in your body. Your whole body is relaxed now. Now we will chant 3 ओम और ओम के वाइब्रेशंस पूरे शरीर में महसूस करेंगे। नाभि से स्टार्ट करते हुए ओम बोलेंगे और वाइब्रेशंस पूरे शरीर में फील करेंगे। स्टार्ट, ब्रीथ इन, breathe in, breathe in. Feel the vibrations in your body. ओम के वाइब्रेशंस शरीर के अंदर भी है और शरीर के बाहर भी है। मूवमेंट करके ये वाइब्रेशन को डिस्टर्ब नहीं करेंगे। खाली आनंद की अनुभूति करेंगे, परम शांति का अनुभव करेंगे। अपने आप को एकदम हैप्पी हैप्पी महसूस करेंगे। अपने आप को एकदम हेल्दी महसूस करेंगे। ग्रेटिट्यूड की फीलिंग कि भगवान ने मुझे सब कुछ दिया है। अभी जो फीलिंग्स है उसे बनाए रखेंगे। धीरे से बॉडी के प्रति सजग हो जाएंगे। हेड को साइड टू साइड मूव करेंगे। शरीर को एक स्ट्रेच दे देंगे। दोनों हाथ ऊपर की तरफ खींच लेंगे।
Rub the palms, generate urja. Place the warm hands over eyes and face. Open and close eyes few times in dark under the palms. Very slowly slide the hands down, open the eyes, bend at both the knees and roll the body onto the right side. Stay on right for about 2 to 3 normal breath. Then with help of both the palms, very slowly, gently, bring the body up back to any comfortable sitting posture. Just bring hands in Vishnu Mudra, right hand. Roll first 2 fingers into root of thumb, and we will do Anulom Vilom Pranayam. Inhale on left, exhale on right, then inhale on right and exhale on left. We can chant any of the mantras, like as we inhale, we can say Om Bhur Bhuvah Swaha. As we breathe out on right, say Tat Savitur Varenyam, then Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat, or any other mantra we can chant. But do from left to right, right to left. Okay, conclude when you breathe out on left. Complete the mantra if you are chanting. You can bring both palms together in top of each other, back straight, relax the shoulders. We will chant 3 Mahamrutyunjay mantra followed by the short meditation. During meditation, try to keep awareness at the crown chakra, the crown of the head. Close the eyes. Om त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामय सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Rub the palms against each other. Generate urja, make them warm. Place the warm hands over the eyes and face. Move the palms over the eyes. Gently massage the eyelids. Open and close eyes few times under the palms. Very slowly slide the hands down. Gently open the eyes. Rub the palms one more time. Place them over the head, back of the head, shoulders, the arms, and the whole body to spread the energy within the body. Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna everyone. So if you please see you at 10:30 on the Parikshit Mala, and other than that, see you tomorrow morning for the Surya Namaskar session. All right, I'm going to unmute. And if anybody have any questions, go ahead first.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.
जय श्री कृष्ण बकुल भाई
Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna.
Thank you, Bakul Bhai. Jai Shri Krishna.
All right.
Thank you, Jai Shri Krishna.
Have a wonderful rest of the weekend.
जय श्री कृष्ण हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. ચાલો તો
પછી ખાવાનું નથી એટલે એમ કે અત્યારે ચા બનાવી દીધી
મને કહું રાખી બધી ચાનો કોમેન્ટ મને ખબર છે કે જવાનું છે ને
સાંભળી લે બધું